What is Xbox hiding from us? Has Xbox taken it too far? What's up, y'all? I'm Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we get on and we talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors, games, accessories, pretty much anything I want to talk about as long as it's about Xbox in some way. First up, let's talk about Developer Direct. Again, yes, I know I already gave my thoughts, but there's some questions that I have. Specifically, what is this? No, seriously, what is this? For context, this is Playground Games showing off Forza Horizon 5 during Developer Direct. Now, the obvious answer would be that it's an Xbox development kit. Sure, it's Developer Direct, they're at the studio. Sure, that makes sense, but why would they cover it? Gen 9 development kits have been out for a while now. We know what they look like. And of course, it goes against everything we know about video game consoles to cover it up with a freaking bag that you would throw over someone's head if you wanted to kidnap them. It would just kill the ventilation. So why cover it up unless they were trying to deliberately hide something? The question is, what? What would they be hiding? I have a little bit of experience with this. As you can see, the camera shoots towards my gaming and work setup. I got my desk on the right, all my consoles connected to my TV on the left. If you look hard enough, you can see my Xbox Ally X in the background of the video right here. That's been the case for several months now, and that almost became a huge problem for me because I shot an entire video where my Xbox Ally X was in the background, which now is fine, but at the time it wasn't. Xbox sent me this to review, and they gave me strict instructions not to show that I had it on social media or YouTube, anything, until the embargo was up in October. So in my infinite wisdom and laziness, I was like, instead of shooting the whole thing over again, I'm just gonna blur out this part of the desk so no one sees it. Going back to this mystery dev kit situation though, I think the second obvious choice would be that it's a PlayStation dev kit. It's no secret that Xbox is porting games on over to PS5. Definitely not a stretch to assume in 2026 that Xbox developers have access to PS5 dev kits. But again, that's no secret, so why would they hide it? Why would they throw a bag over it? Maybe they were like, okay, it's not a good look to have PlayStation branded anything in Xbox Showcase, but they went out of their way to say that Fable was coming to PS5 day one, so it's not like they're just avoiding it entirely. They are using an Xbox controller too to playtest whatever level that they're showing off in the footage, so I don't know, things just seem weird. There is a chance, guys, a small chance, that what we're looking at here is the development kit for Project Magnus, Microsoft's next-gen Xbox that's supposed to be part PC, part console, like a high-end Steam machine. Why would they be developing for the next-gen Xboxes, though, when they're supposed to be delayed past, you know, the assumed release window of 2028? Well, it is a PC, so they're literally probably just working on the PC version of the game. We also know that Microsoft recently raised the price of Xbox Series X and S development kits by upwards of like $200 a pop. So maybe Microsoft themselves are moving on and focusing on the future that they've laid out for themselves, focusing on PC versions of their games. It was a blink if you miss it moment. Once again, I am probably making a mountain out of a molehill, but that's what's fun about these things. And we have a long history of doing that as Xbox fans. What's this thing on Phil Spencer's shelf? We may never have an answer to what is under this thing, but it turns out that we might be getting another Developer Direct. We know that Xbox Game Studios has a lot more in their tank, a lot more to show us than they were able to put in Developer Direct. So what Jez Corden is saying in his podcast, alleging that they're going to have a second Developer Direct for the first time in the history of Developer Directs, that totally makes sense to me. I thought it was weird that they gave such a long spotlight to Killin, especially in a year where we're expecting all of these other heavy hitters from Xbox Game Studios. The question is, where would they slot that Developer Direct? Would they do it like preceding their big showcase in June? Would they have it before that in the spring? That's the question. I think they should totally go for it. I think there are so many other games that they're working on that deserve a Developer Direct spotlight. No shade to Double Fine. Again, no shade to Double Fine. Their contributions to the industry and just my love for video games in general, undeniable. But imagine a Developer Direct where instead of showing Beast of Reincarnation, both Playground Games, and Killin, they replaced Killin with like Gears E-Day or even Clockwork Revolution. It would have set the internet on fire. This video is brought to you by Mint Mobile. I finally had to take that last step into adulthood this past August, guys. I had to get my own phone plan. I wanted something that was good, but wasn't gonna break the bank. I use my phone a lot. I have to keep in touch with everything that's going on in the the world of Xbox and the video game industry, so I needed something that was reliable. When I was shopping around and first checking out Mint, I was reading through, I was like, dang, I can get a lot of the same things that I had: unlimited talk and text, 5G coverage, a hotspot. I could get all of that stuff for about half the price as I would be paying at a legacy carrier. You can also pay up front. You can pay for 3 months, 6 months, or the entire year at 12. I ended up locking in this awesome deal that I'm still on. It was $240 for the entire year, and I get unlimited data. The whole process of switching over was super easy. All I needed to do was just download the app, and they walked me through the entire eSIM activation process. I got to keep my number. I got to keep all my contacts. I got to keep everything that I had, except I had more money in my pocket. Now they're running an even better deal. I'm not upset about it. I'm not salty about it. Okay, maybe I am a little bit. Right now, you can get one of their premium unlimited plans for 50% off. I paid $240 for a year with Mint Mobile. You can pay $180, $60 cheaper. That's great. I'm so happy for you. All you need to do is just scan this code or click the link down in the description. Thanks again to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this video. Next up, has Xbox gone too far? Mankind, society, we have a very long and complicated history with ads. Sure, there are some commercials and advertising campaigns that we may like because we think they're funny or they're memorable for some reason. But the general consensus most regular people seem to have about modern advertising is that it's obnoxious as hell and damn near inescapable. Open up IGN's website, click on literally any article that they do. I clicked on the one that was for their Season 1, Episode 1 review of The Hedge Knight, and I got served a huge banner ad for Wonder Man. Scroll through literally any social media platform, chances are every 2-3 videos you'll be served an ad masquerading as content. Hell, you probably were served 2 unskippable ads at the start of this video that really annoyed you. People don't like ads. The problem is that they're this necessary evil that we've just sort of accepted because they also fund a large part of the entertainment and properties that we love, or they play some sort of role in keeping that entertainment either cheap or free. Everyone, be it content creators like myself or the largest TV networks on the planet, have had to do this dance with advertisements in some way. And Xbox is no different. Their parent company, Microsoft, has become notorious for advertising their own products, especially like Copilot and Microsoft Office, shoehorning them into all of their products, even if you just want to play, I don't know, games. Open up the Xbox dashboard and you won't be able to escape the ad tiles that are suspiciously bigger than the game ones. You know, the whole reason why we're booting up the Xbox in the first place. And of course, they've also caught a lot of flack in the past for these full-page ads that pop up when you boot up your Xbox for games like Forza Motorsport, Starfield, Call of Duty. If you're sick of all that, well, I got bad news for you because it looks like Xbox is going to give some of its users even more ads. But hold on, wait a minute before you pass judgment. It might actually be a good idea. Last week, people started reporting a little message that was popping up whenever they fired up a cloud gaming session. At first glance, it just kind of seems like that standard X-Wing plane thing that pops up before you load into your cloud gaming session. But hold on, what is this at the bottom? Oh my God, I can't even make this up. I tried to zoom in on the image that I'm referring to, and look what happens. An ad pops up on Windows Central blocking it. I cannot make this up. Anyway, the message says 1 hour of ad-supported playtime per session. I saw that some people were worried that Xbox is going to shoehorn in ads in order for us to access cloud gaming at all. I don't think that's the case. Rather, I'm in agreement with Windows Central here that they're trying to introduce an ad-supported free tier of cloud gaming, one that's independent from Game Pass entirely. Now, of course, it used to be in order to access cloud gaming at all, you had to have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Ever since they restructured Game Pass a few months back in October, they made it so all the Game Pass tiers have access to online play and cloud gaming. Windows Central last year did a report saying that Xbox was exploring the possibility of an ad-supported tier for cloud gaming. And when they sought clarification about this, it was confirmed that the ads would appear separately on Xbox Cloud Gaming for those who have purchased Xbox games digitally but don't have Xbox Game Pass. Now, ads, gaming, yeah, it's sacrilegious, especially for console games. But even so, I still think that there are some positive takeaways here. Number one, being able to use cloud gaming without being subscribed to Game Pass. That's a big one. That's something that a lot of people are going to be interested in, especially as Xbox continues to expand cloud gaming to other devices. And number two, I'm not going to complain about a free alternative to playing my games in a time where video game hardware is just skyrocketing in price. As everyone is waiting with bated breath for for Xbox to announce a third price increases for the Series X and S, giving people an affordable, free way to access their games. Even if it's supported by ads, that's still a good look for them. We've seen major streaming companies do this. There's an ad-supported tier of Netflix, Crunchyroll. All of the major players have an ad-supported tier that is cheaper than their regular subscriptions. This could be good for Xbox. Could be. You see, there's a time and place for ads, a way that companies can handle them that minimizes their annoyance to acceptable levels. The problem is most companies haven't figured that out yet. Especially with modern entertainment, movies, content, a lot of that was not made with ad breaks in mind. Not like cable television used to be back in the day. Watching something like, I don't know, The Lord of the Rings on cable is painful. They pick the worst times to put in commercials. And that could very well be the case when it comes to being served ads during cloud gaming sessions. Like if I bought a copy of the Master Chief Collection and I was like, you know what, I really want to replay the Halo 3 campaign. If I'm going by what's being said in this image, I get 1 hour of supported playtime if I watch an ad this session. What happens after that hour ends? Am I just going to be served an unskippable ad as I'm making that final Warthog run? What if I decide to jump into the multiplayer? If my hour of playtime expires, will the same thing happen to me in the middle of a match, or will they wait until I'm back in the lobby? And in this image, they say per session at the end as well, so our play session's gonna be capped. That's certainly a standard practice in the cloud gaming industry right now. Nvidia does the same thing at lower tiers. They cap that playtime. Are they gonna be full video ads, or are they gonna be like a banner pop-up situation? Or will it be like when I'm using Duolingo and I have to pretend like I'm playing this mobile gaming slop in order to get to my next Spanish lesson? These are things that they really have to consider. I know that they've been thinking about it for a while, at least since 2022. Back then, I was hearing conversations about ad-supported tiers of Game Pass specifically. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna be a cloud gaming thing, but I know that they've been thinking about it. It's been on their minds in some shape or form for years at this point. There's some potential upsides for this, but they have to tread carefully. And they better make damn sure that it stays in that free ad-supported tier. If ads start creeping their way up to the other tiers of Game Pass, I'm out. While they work on that though, they need to figure out some other problems when it comes to their advertising. They need to figure out how to identify Xbox fans who are like really engaged in the ecosystem. I want to say hardcore fans, but not really, but fans who use their Xbox all the time or use the Xbox PC app. Identify those daily users and serve them less ads. Obviously, I'm a big Xbox fan. That's why I have this YouTube channel in the first place. There is not a single Xbox product, accessory, or game that they're working on or planning on coming out with that I don't know about. I have a Series X, I have a Series S, I use the Xbox PC app all the time. I have a Game Pass subscription, pretty much all of their first-party games. More controllers than I can ever use in one lifetime. So why would they waste the resources by showing me an ad of like, oh, do you know that Forza Horizon 6 came out today? Well, yeah, I've been talking about it for a long time. You probably gave me a review code for it, so why waste the resources serving me that ad? This is a pop-up letting me know that the Xbox Ally handhelds have arrived, being served to me on my Xbox Ally X. The Xbox Ally X is here. Yeah, I know, it's literally in my living room. Why am I getting served this? I feel like Microsoft, with all of their wealth and resources, that's something that they could easily do. And maybe identify the people who, I don't know, don't boot up their Xbox as often as me. Hey, we notice it's been a while since you logged into your Microsoft account, you played an Xbox game or opened up Xbox Game Pass. Here's some stuff to let you know what you missed out on and what you can jump into right now. Speaking of Xbox Game Pass, I may have downloaded the wrong Ubisoft game. The highlights for Game Pass Ultimate this month are 2 Ubisoft games, Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm honestly shocked that it took Assassin's Creed Mirage this long to come on over to Game Pass. And even though I heard middling things about it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. It's on Game Pass, whatever, right? And me, I used to love Assassin's Creed. That first game, pretty good, but especially that Ezio trilogy, I was so into. Black Flag I was really into. Assassin's Creed Unity 3 was okay for me. So if nothing else, even if I didn't enjoy it, I was like, let me just get a good amount of nostalgia. Let me pretend like it's 2007 and I'm Altair running around Damascus. I'm only about 10 hours in though, and I'm like, I don't know, it's starting to feel like a chore. First of all, I think the story is it's just not there. It's not pulling me in. None of the characters are interesting to me. I'm familiar with Basim as a character because he was in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I won't mention anything else because of spoilers. But I'm like, this dude is so boring, man. Like, I'm just like a good guy. I'm a thief with the heart of gold. Like, there's just nothing interesting about him. I'm not saying that everyone has to be like an arrogant bad boy like Ezio or have like some sort of tortured past. None of his friends seemed interesting to me. The people around him didn't seem interested in me. The actors don't even seem interested in saying their lines. And on top of that, I just think the scripting is so weird. I'm like, people don't talk like this. To some degree, every game does this, but I really feel like the people in this game exist solely to spout exposition and game mechanics. They don't hide it very well. I can appreciate the emphasis on stealth, but they do that by making the combat terrible. Okay, press X and dodge out of the way if the enemy turns red. Press LB and parry it if they glow yellow, and then you spam RB. And whenever you talk to an NPC or there's a cutscene, I just feel like the character models are very just weird and stiff. And of course, there's like that classic Ubisoft jank where I was talking to someone, but he was facing the complete opposite direction. There are some cool moments, especially in the infiltration and the investigation aspects of the gameplay. I appreciate the options that they give me in order to cover up my escape and hide. I love blinding people with the little spice bag, so I obscure myself and then go and assassinate them real quick before I'm out of there. The stealth is good. The stealth is good, and obviously the world is beautiful. It looks great. In many ways, it reminds me of classic AC, and in some ways, it leaves me just kind of disappointed. It reminds me that, you know, we've come a long way in terms of our expectations as gamers. It used to be that Ubisoft could give us this big, beautiful, open world, have us control this assassin, parkour everywhere, and, you know, give us a couple of brutal killing animations, and that was enough to make a butt ton of money and launch a successful franchise. But when it comes to combat, when it comes to story, when it comes to open world exploration, it takes a lot to impress people nowadays. And it has me thinking, okay, maybe I should have downloaded Star Wars Outlaws. That was another game that people weren't really impressed by. Once YouTubers collectively were like, no, we don't like this game, it was pretty much dead in the water at that point. But at least with that game, I would be getting another Star Wars story. The one for Assassin's Creed, it seems just kind of like, I don't know, it's like not cool anymore. I'm just searching for excuses to play this game still, and it's getting harder and harder, especially when you're looking at Game Pass, which actually had a pretty strong string of games released towards the end of January. They added Space Marine 2 on there, which is absolutely fucking dope. They also got Death Stranding's director's cut. Overall, a pretty strong lineup. Obviously, these are all older games, but still, pretty solid lineup for Game Pass. And just because this was a miss for me on Game Pass this month doesn't mean we don't have a ton more coming for the rest of 2026. So if you want to keep up to date on what's coming to Game Pass, what's happening with Xbox, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I have a lot planned this year, a lot of coverage coming your way for Xbox's 25th anniversary. So if you want to come along for the ride, I'd love to have you. If not, well, I ain't a beggar. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.